Salute to you all, the brave never fall. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world. That is a great quote by Harriet Tubman. And the whole idea of dreams is something I definitely wanted to touch on with the Brave Never Fall podcast because it's something every single person has had in their life. Some people dream more than others. Some people have nightmares more than others, and we'll talk about nightmares and dreams in this one. I'm kind of going to split this up into two parts. After the intermission, we'll dive into a little bit more about nightmares and how they affect your dreams and how you've been in your own head can lead to that, and how you can allow your mind, again, because dreams are coming from the mind, how you can allow your mind to get to you even when you're not even awake. But we'll talk about that after intermission. On this first part, I would like to dive into, again, I'll read that quote. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world. And I think there is a reason why we dream. And I say think because there are all types of interpretations about dreams. It's been something that I've always tried to dive into and think about. But before the age of the internet, when all you had to do was just go to the library and read a book, you had that one source, all the information came from one book. And I don't process information like that. I always need multiple different viewpoints on something that is interpreted by someone. So whenever you're going into anything and you're trying to learn something new, it's very important, at least for me. I recommend this for people who have a mind that doesn't just accept the first thing that they hear as truth. When you're learning something new, take pride and joy and have a little bit of fun in researching topics that are interesting to you. And get all the viewpoints, both positive, negative, people who are for it and people who aren't for it. Get all of it into your brain and you make a determination for yourself. Don't have someone force feed you information and then say this is the only way that it is, because whenever that happens, you are shortchanging yourself from learning the opposite side. Even if you know going into something, you already have made up your mind about whether or not it's relevant enough for you to say it's truthful or it's not truthful. It's still good to know other people's point of view. That's where empathy comes in. It's hard to be empathetic with people if you have no idea what they're going through or what they're thinking or the reasoning behind their actions, right? You want to make sure that when you're doing something especially something like learning something new, it's important to get all the information you possibly can get before you make a determination about what it actually means. And I always struggled with that before the invention of the internet for everyone to use freely, where now you can just go on any device. If you're sitting in front of TV, anything that pops in your mind at a moment's notice, you can have your answer. Where in the past, when I grew up, if something popped in your mind, you had to ask somebody that you trusted to give you some information. And if you didn't trust that, then you go to the library, you figure out some information. Maybe you can look up some articles and newspapers, magazines. You were very limited in what you can do. There might be some videos and documentaries about it, but very limited. So I always felt like with the invention of the internet, now you can really dive into things like dreams. And I always wanted to know more about it. And the more I learned about it, the more I start thinking, it can be very, very easily misinterpreted by all types of different people depending on your particular lifestyle. Because people, when you're starting to add in individuality, if you ask one person what their dreams mean without them knowing anything about what dreams actually mean and what relevance they have in the real world once you wake up from them, one person might say that it's a spiritual thing that they're having, that they believe everything that they dream about is sent to them as a message from whatever God they pray to. You have other people who don't believe in God, and they may think, hey, these are just images and things that I think about before I went to bed and things I might be worrying about for the days to come, the years to come, and they just happen to be in a story mode in my mind. Some people have vivid imaginations and it carries over into their dreams. I fall into that category. I have a very vivid imagination. My dreams tend to be very vivid, imagination typed filled roller coaster rides where when I wake up, I'm like, I don't even know how I even has no basis in my reality at all, and it never could be based on the laws we have here on Earth. Because I have dreams where I'm not even on this planet; I'm somewhere else doing something insane. We'll talk about that sort of thing later, and how to kind of ask yourself why. How does your mind get to a point where you're thinking of things that even when you're awake you couldn't conjure up? Even if you sat there, or if you took the most powerful stimulant or drug or whatever, you can never think of these things that you dream. There are people in your dreams that you've met one time, but you're talking to them in your dream as if you've known them your whole life, or people you haven't met yet and they pop up. Dreams are all over the place. But for the purposes of the Brave Never Fall podcast, we're going to focus on how the dreams parallel with your reality, and how you can kind of free yourself from feeling as if you're trapped by your mind and limited by your mind, and how to step out of your comfort zone and step into your mystery box and start figuring out things about life that you never thought about. And I think dreams are a good way of doing that. Some people wake up and write down their dreams. Other people tend to forget them the moment they wake up. I don't write mine down. I usually, if I have a dream that is vivid and intense enough, I remember it and I never forget it. And I tend to repeat dreams a lot. So I don't really think, okay, I need to write this down, because most of the time when it's vivid like that, I tend to repeat them, and they go in cycles. Like for 5 years, I'll have that same dream maybe once a month, and it'd be about 5 or 6 different types of dreams, but they're pretty much all the same. There might be a few differences here and there, but that's how my mind works, and that's me in my mechanism. But what's great about dreaming, I always felt like, if you do something insane enough in your dream, like one constant thread in my dreams is always that I'm flying. I've always believed that I was flying. I'm either being chased or I'm freeing myself. And I always thought it's because I want to be free. And which is why I think I've always gravitated towards wanting to get more knowledge and wanting to break away from the normal average things that we do in life. I wanted to do more and be more and push myself to do things to the point where I am free. I feel like I'm free. I need to feel like the choices I make in life are my own. Now, that doesn't mean that other people can't influence you in that way. Of course they can. And, people can enter your life and you still can feel free. You can still feel free depending if you have the right people around you. The right people around you are going to get you to a point where, okay, this person is raising my value in life. I feel like a more valuable person because I have this person in my life. They're freeing me from all the worries and concerns I have about myself, about my situation. I have an ally, I have a partner, a teammate that's going to be there for me, and I can rely on them, and it's reassuring, and it's great. It's also very comfortable, and it's also very scary to know that you can lose someone like that, and where would you be if they're gone? And that's another important part of freedom that I love to take in for myself, is that I don't necessarily have to have people in my life be there for me, because I have to prepare myself every day to be alone, just in case. You never know. It's not because I want to be alone. It's because I'm preparing myself just in case it does happen. And hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it doesn't. But I've gone through long stretches in my life where I have been alone. I've gone through long stretches in my life where I have been relying on people, feeling like I wasn't alone, but really I was, even when there were people around me. And your vision about where you want to go in life is very important when it comes to those people who've been around you, because that's what dreaming is all about. You want to have people around you that believes in your dream, believe in the goals that you want to set for yourself, believe that you are capable of doing even more than what you're displaying to them. They're pushing you to do things that you haven't even thought about. Those are the people you want around you. They get you to look at what you're doing already and saying, have you thought about just moving over a little bit and going down that avenue with this? And at that point, you can look into it and make your own decision. Again, get as much knowledge about it as you can. And make your own determination about what path you want to go on. Because no matter what people recommend to you, it's always going to be your path. It's always going to be your voyage, your trek. You're going to be the one responsible for every decision you make, regardless of who spoke into your left ear and yelled into your right ear. You're the one who's going to have to make the decision. And people will remind you of that the moment you mess up. People will remind you of that the moment you succeed. They want credit. they don't want the credit for when you fail though, because nobody wants to be the reason why somebody's failing. So that's when you come up with excuses. This person just isn't strong enough. They're not smart enough. They're not in tune with life enough. They need to grow up. They're immature. They're not ready. They're not ready. They're not ready. But the only person who really knows if you're ready or not is you. Everybody knows when you're in your brain and you're in tune to what you want to do. Everybody knows when you're ready for something when you're not. When you're really ready for something, there's a different intensity and feeling about it than when you're not. Plain and simple. Everybody knows that. It's the reason why we get butterflies sometimes for things that we've done over and over and over again. Whenever you get butterflies for something you've done a lot, that means you're not ready for something, or you're apprehensive about something. And I think that is a fine line, because that also means that you're excited about something. You're passionate about something. You care. So it swings both sides. Those butterflies in your stomach mean a whole lot. But most importantly, it means you're alive and you're doing something that is uncomfortable at the moment, but at the same time, it can be extremely exciting because you're about to overcome something. I feel like anything that I do that I'm passionate about, I should get butterflies about them every once in a while. I should get the chills. I should be nervous and apprehensive because I don't want to mess it up. I want to be the best 100% at everything that I do. It's the reason why you're supposed to get butterflies when you're dating someone. If those things just go away after a while, there's a problem. Now, yes, everything subsides and levels out. But when you're trying to figure things out and you don't have some type of a reaction to it, that's a little bit of a problem. It's either a lack of passion or you're not ready for something. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean that because, again, we're talking about individuals here. But it goes back to your ultimate goal of what you want in your life. Now, people talk about dreams. Like I always tell people, if you're going to dream big, which is why I'm happy with my dreams sometimes because they are big and crazy. And when I wake up, I'm like, wow, if I could dream of that. And I'm a storyteller. Sometimes I'll take those dreams and I'll jot down notes about them, and I'll put them in some of my little short stories that I write. So that's a little different. But we're talking about goals in reality here. A dream, a vision of who you could be and where you want to be and where you've come from. If you're going to envision something, because a dream is not real until it's reality. A dream cannot be real until it's reality. So you are dreaming. When you're trying to see yourself down that path as far as it can go, and you're looking at the horizon and you have a goal, it is no more real than the dreams you dream at night when you're asleep. What is the difference? Neither one of them are reality. Yet they're both coming from my mind. They're coming from our bodies. We're remembering them as if they're memories. So if you can wake up and remember a dream as if they're memories, why can't you look at the horizon and dream big and look at that dream as if it is a foregone conclusion that you're going to get it, that you will get there at some point? Why can't it be any more real than a dream that actually did happen to you as a memory? Because a memory, when you look back on it, I preach this a lot, when you go back into your memory banks and there are things that are disturbing to you or they're happy memories, you should remember them. You should remember them as much detail as possible. And if they start to fade, write them down. You don't ever want to remember you don't ever want to lose your memories. You always want to remember them, especially the ones that are impactful, the ones that you should never let go of. If they're starting to fade, you have to write them down. You keep them somewhere safe. Those are valuable. Not only for you, but for people around you. If anything was to happen to you, that's almost like a thumbprint. That's a blueprint for you. That's something someone can remember because you are a living human being. And you are in the past. Even though it's gone, it's evidence that you were here. What did you do back then? No one should ever forget you or what you've done. And if you don't remember, and you haven't left any trace of what you've done, yes, you should write them down. I believe everybody should have memoirs before they pass away. And unfortunately, people get taken away too quickly, so we kind of neglect that kind of thumbprint that we leave behind, which is why I like making these podcasts, because it is something that I'm leaving behind for my son. He can go back and listen to these anytime he wants, and he can hear his father's voice. When my father died, I have nothing audio-wise of him. I have no video of my dad. No audio, no video. All I have are pictures. and they weren't very good. They were taken in the 80s, so they're not even high def, highly detailed pictures of my father. And they were all within an 8-year time span. That's all I have of him. It's pretty incredible. He left nothing behind, nothing of himself. And it's inspiration for me to make these podcasts because I don't want to leave that kind of emptiness to my son. He's going to have all types of things from his father. He'll be able to see his father. Again, we live in an age of social media and phones where he's going to always have pictures and things of me, but he doesn't have the message. You can get all the pictures and videos you want of people, but if they don't leave behind something for you to learn, I feel like that's a disservice. You want to leave something behind. What did you learn in life? What did you gain in life? What did you fail at? Because the people who would come after you, generations after you, they're tethered to you. They're your bloodline. They are you. They deserve to know how you lived. What did you think about in certain situations? It's important. Some people go their whole lives and they feel like every single day that they wake up that there's nothing significant about their lives. And there is. The story of why you are or are not doing things is very valuable to the people who are closest to you, to the people who are coming after you. It's very valuable. It may not seem like it in the moment, but whenever you're gone, anything you leave behind is valuable. You ever been to a funeral and it's just somebody lived their life, nothing wrong with it, retired from their job, nice house, kids, everything, nothing what some people say, quote, special about them. There's something special about everyone, so I don't believe in that. Well, it really wasn't that special. He didn't really do much. Yes, he did. You just didn't see it. Yes, she did. You just didn't see it. Because a lot of times people don't share every single thing that happens in their lives, especially special moments and special feats and triumphs. If they're really good people, a lot of times they won't say anything. And I know that's me. Like some of the best things I've done, I haven't shared with anyone. Those are my memories. Those are my moments. I'll share them in time with the people who deserve to know. But for the majority of people, there are a lot of things people don't know about you. So you ever been to a funeral and they're reading the eulogy? People are quiet. Does anyone want to say anything? You might get a couple raised hands and the service ends, and you think to yourself, it would have been nice if that person would have left something for themselves, for someone to read, just to say, this is what we found of this person, and we didn't know this, but on this day, this person did this. This person handled this situation like this. This person went to work for this particular job all these years for this reason. Those are valuable things that blueprint someone's life. It may seem uninteresting to an average walker by, passerby person who doesn't know this person. But for the people closest to them, that's valuable to know why people made decisions, to know why people didn't give up, to know why people avoided certain situations or they failed at certain situations. For the people closest to them, it's very valuable. Those are memories that they didn't have for themselves, but now they own for themselves while this person is no longer with us. You are literally holding memories in your hand whenever you can write things down or save them to a video or give some audio or write a memoir. They're you. It is you. It's coming from your body. So you are still alive when you do that. And sometimes I feel like my father there's a part of him that isn't alive because he never left anything like that. And he didn't have any dreams or goals that I'm aware of. But of course he did. He had to have had some. I have to keep telling myself that. He had to have had some because everybody has a dream or a goal or something that they would say, if I could get my way, that is what I want. You think about a genie with 3 wishes. Anybody can answer that question. There's nobody that says, I don't really want the wishes and just walks away. Everybody has wishes. What's the difference between those wishes and dreams and goals? A wish is no different than a dream. They're no more real than a dream you dream when you're sleeping. So I refuse to believe there are people out there who don't have big dreams and big goals and big plans for their lives if things went the way they would want them to go. And they actually put in the work to get there. And putting in the work is probably the hardest part because people don't know where to start with some of these big dreams. You put the big dream out there and you think in yourself, well, how am I supposed to accomplish this? And it goes back, this is a great a great, great quote by Colin Powell. A dream doesn't become reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and hard work. A dream doesn't become reality through magic. It takes sweat, determination, and hard work. Colin Powell. That's the part of it where I always seem when I'm getting into a conversation with someone and they're complaining about their job, they're complaining about not being done with school, they're complaining about their family, no one helps them. And I ask, well, what is it about life that is holding you back from getting your ultimate dream? And then they'll say, well, it's money. It's, I don't have any help. And I say, okay, well, what is your goal? To win the lottery. That's not a goal. That's wishing. That's like you waking up from a dream and it not being real. So let's talk reality here. What is a goal you want to get to? And how are you going to work your way to it? Now, the good thing about this is that you don't always have to have the answer for the ultimate goal. Because the ultimate goal is, a lot of times, is I just need more money. I would like to have a nice house. I would like to have a spouse with a nice family. I would like to have a better job. Of course we want those things as human beings. Who wants to worry about bills? Who wants to worry about an unfaithful spouse? Or who wants to worry about their family breaking up in divorce? Who wants to worry about their car being wrecked in a car accident? Who wants to worry about their house being burned down? No one wants to worry about those things. We all want the easy stuff. We want the comfortable stuff that's going to make our life easy. We want the job handed to us. Hey, Phil just quit. Would you like the job? Yeah, no problem. Show up tomorrow. You're not qualified, but who gives a shit? Just show up. You're never going to hear that. And if you do, you're going to fail because you don't know what it took to get there, because Phil left for a reason. You might want to go talk to Phil because you might not want the job in the first place. It's called expanding your mind enough to encompass everything around you in order to be able to even formulate a plan to get to an ultimate goal. And that's why I always tell people, just stop what you're doing. Stop overthinking everything. It's okay to dream and dream big. There's nothing wrong with that. And I do it every single day, and it has gotten me a long way. And I wish I had done it when I was younger. But you get to a point where don't overthink it. If it takes you forever to figure out, I don't know how I'm going to get to that goal, just start right now with just looking down and seeing if you're even on the path to get to it. If you look down and you're standing in the middle of nowhere and you don't know where your path is, it doesn't really matter what your goal is because you're going to get lost trying to find it. You have no clue. You have no basis. You have no reality to formulate even the first few steps to get to it. So you have to step back and kind of take a look at yourself and say, where am I at? What do I have to work with here? That's the first step. I always tell people the first step of being woke is being aware that you're woke. Everybody talks about being woke. I'm woke. Okay, that's good. Now what are you going to do with it? You're aware of it now. So now what? That's where that determination kicks in that he was talking about. The hard work, the self-discipline. How do you find that? I always tell people, dig deep into what you know you already possess. That is the best tool that you will ever have, and that's self-love. There you go right there. There's your tool to start with. Self-love. Start with that. Start building that up. Start building up confidence. Start building up determination, self-discipline, a good work ethic, empathy, because you're going to need people. Yes, I always preach you should be capable of being alone when it happens. But you shouldn't want to surround yourself with people who are negative in your life as well. So you're going to want to get rid of people. But the positive people who will be available, you want to be able to recognize these people. Because that's another aspect about dreams and goals is recognizing opportunities, not only in job opportunities, in business opportunities, but also in relationship opportunities. Not spouse, not in love. We're talking about just people in general. Who are the people that are toxic? Who are the people that are going to bring value to your life? Who are the people that are going to invest in you as much, if not more, than you're going to invest in them? Who are these people? How do I identify them? How I identify the people that are manipulators, who are selfish, only thinking about themselves, versus the people who are out in the world doing basically what I'm doing, which is trying to reach people who have empathy, who have a good, strong work ethic, who aren't making excuses, who aren't selfish, manipulative, narcissistic, cowardly people, who are just like Walking Dead zombies just trying to literally just grab and drag everybody down because they've had a bad time and they don't know how to dig themselves out of the hole. Sometimes those people will need your help. That's another reason why you need to identify them, because not every person who's trying to drag you down is doing it on purpose. We're not saying these are malicious people. We're just saying they're out there. And you have to be cautious. But at the same time, be aware that not everyone's out to hurt you, but you don't want to hurt yourself with people by being a punching bag. You don't want to be the person that is a guinea pig for this person to be like, okay, well, I just tore this person down. Now I can do it to anyone. Now, it's a collective thing. That's why I always preach, life and empowerment coaching through freedom and connection. Yes, we are free, but we are all still connected. We're free, but we're also still connected. And you have to balance those two things out. And there is always a healthy balance. So getting back to the big dream picture, I have found when I thought small, I acted small. I acted very small. So when I think about a goal, if it's not that big and I know it's something I can really grab real quick, I don't put it in a goal aspect. I put it into a little small victory aspect. That is, okay, I got a project I want to do. I know I can get it done in 3 months. Let me go ahead and try to get it done in a month. That's a small victory. And then you think you can start, and then you start stepping them up. Okay, I would like to go back to get my whatever certificate and whatever you want to do. Or you want to go back and get a degree. It may take you 2-3 years, and you just get going with it. Get a semester under your belt. That's a small victory. The bigger goals are, okay, if I start doing these things, what can I do with them? I can get my master's. I can get my master's in whatever I want. That's the ultimate goal. That's a big one. But I have to start down here by saying, okay, well, the first thing I need to do is register for school. Just do that. Guess what? You've already started. Then you commit to it. Once you commit and you truly commit, no matter what happens, because things are going to happen, it's going to knock you off. And you're going to be sitting back thinking to yourself, how did I get in this situation? Why did I put myself in this situation? Why am I going through this school when I got a full-time job and I have all these things going on? It can be overwhelming. But you have to look down and say, okay, I'm still on the path for a reason. I'm not off the path. That means I'm meant to be here. I can still see my goal. Sweat, determination, and hard work. No one said it was going to be easy. And if it was, it wouldn't matter that you're doing it because everybody would be doing it. What makes things like that possible for special people is because you are going against the grain for the most part. You are taking on a tremendous challenge whenever you set a huge goal. That's why I said when you think small, you'll be small. So if your goal is really small, like if your goal is, I just want to, instead of saying, I want my degree, you just say, I just want to get the associate's degree, and then I don't have a clue what I'm going to do afterwards. I know it's not enough to do what I really want to do, but I'm just going to get that one. And then it's just after that, I think I'm proud of myself and I'm done. Fine, perfectly, nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, why would you do that to yourself? Why not keep going? You've already committed. You made a goal. Why sell yourself short? Why not just say, I want my master's degree? Instead of saying, I want my associates. Even if you know you're never going to get your master's degree, just say it. The mindset behind that, if you work to, I'm going to work towards this associates as if I'm trying to get my master's, you'll keep going. And I've done that the last probably 5 or 6 years. That had been my mentality with everything. It doesn't matter if it's the smallest thing in the world, as far as a task or a chore or a project, or the biggest thing, like some of my biggest life goals. It's been that way. And it doesn't mean you fail because it takes forever for you to get there. All it means is you are setting yourself on the path to get there. You're setting things in motion to get there. And that's all you need to do. That's all you need to do for right now. That bigger goal will come, but you have to get started first. And as we head into intermission, remember, everything and everyone in this world is connected. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Eleanor Roosevelt. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. That is what we were talking about before the intermission, was that your dreams have to be something that is powerful for you. If you're struggling to say, my associates is enough, and we're just using this as an example. My associates is enough. I don't really want to look anything bigger than that because it might just be too much. If you're forcing yourself to just say and think that way, there's a problem with your initial goal to begin with. There is something, if you're passionate about something, you don't want the baseline smallest version of that. You're going to want all of what it can bring to you. You know that it's going to take you through those thresholds, the associates, the bachelors, the masters. And then your brain will start thinking, why can't I just get my doctorate then? Why can't I get my PhD? If you start thinking like that, you start researching and filling your brain with knowledge about all the things that are coming along with your goal, you get so passionate about it that it becomes almost an addiction. Your self-discipline will kick in. Now, it's always going to be hard to maintain it because you're going to have so many outside distractions and things you can't foresee that are going to try to knock you off that path on your way to your goal. And that's fair. It's fair across the board for everyone. Everybody has to deal with it. You're not alone. People get down on themselves and they start feeling sorry for themselves about their goals when they get knocked off. You know, when you get knocked off course, it's easy to say, oh, if that keeps happening, this is going to be a bad news. Maybe I'm not meant to do this. Instead of thinking the other way around, okay, it's knocking me off course. Do I still want it? If the answer is yes, then get up and get back on the path and keep walking. Is it going to be easy? No, I can't stress that enough to people. Most of the people I talk to, they give up before it even really starts. You can't do that. You have to keep going. You can't worry about what other people are saying. You can't worry about the slips and the falls that you're going to have, the disappointments and the failures. They're going to be there. They're going to be far more of those than you ever will have success and victories. But it's designed to be that way. That is, the course of a human life is made that way. You are not ever going to get through anything in life without hard work. Not if you truly want something great to come out of it. And that's what dreams are. Dreams are supposed to be something beautiful. They're supposed to be something built out of passion, something from you that you have built. That's why they say, what a dream come true. Because it's supposed to be something unbelievable. Most of the time when we dream at night, it's usually unbelievable things that are occurring. For the most part, there are things that you know that are happening in your dreams that would never, ever come to pass in real life. Physically, they can't happen. Mentally, they can't happen. You can't feel the things you feel in your dream in reality. It's just a different universe. And there's a reason why people who, if you ever taken a drug before in your life, and I know I've never taken DMT, and I have heard some stories about it. And in particular, I just heard a story. It was on the Joe Rogan's podcast. There was a guy who took DMT, a very highly psychedelic drug. He was out for maybe 10 minutes, and he had in his trip through his DMT trip, he dreamed he was for 30 years in a relationship with someone out on a beach, living a completely different life. And when he woke back up, he went into he was in a rage. He was confused. He was scared when he came out of this trip because in his mind, he had been away living a completely different life for 30 years. And the mind could not tell the difference when he woke up. He was never the same. His mind could not tell the difference. He was never the same. The movie Inception, Christopher Nolan, when they dive into dreams, that's a really good one. If you have not seen Inception, I will not even speak about spoilers for that. If you haven't seen it, go watch this. If you're interested in dreams, I would recommend you go watch that movie immediately. It will teach you a lot about dreams and the state of what we're talking about here and how it can play into your mind. And this is where I was saying in the second half of this, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the mentality of it, of how scary the mind can be when you're dreaming. And in Inception, there's something that happens where they go so deep into dreaming that when they came out of it, because when you're dreaming, time seems like it has its own unique properties to it, its own laws to it when you're dreaming. Time is extremely awkward and weird when you're dreaming. We all know this. And it can play tricks on you. How many times have you dozed off for 5 minutes and you wake up and you realize you felt like you've been asleep for hours, but it was 5 minutes? It's disjointing. It's weird. And it's something, like I said in the movie Inception, Marion Cotillard's character, Leonardo DiCaprio's wife in the movie, she wakes back up out of their dream state. They went so far into a dream state, and when she woke back up, she couldn't even, she thought she was still in the dream, and she thought that she was still dreaming. And the only way to prove that she wasn't, she had to do something drastic. And I won't spoil the movie for you, but if you want to know what happens, go watch the movie Inception, and you'll see how she deals with this situation. It's very fascinating, scary, and haunting. And I think about that all the time. When I wake up from a dream, I always, it's one of the weirdest things, because whenever I wake up, I have such vivid, weird dreams that when I wake up, it takes me a few seconds. I shake it off because I know I was dreaming. But when I was younger, they used to scare the shit out of me. I would wake up from these dreams that I would have, and they weren't nightmares. They were just normal dreams. But I would wake up, and they were so real to me. I was doing things in that dream that were so strange and so weird that I could not discern. I was thinking to myself, especially when I was a kid, was that real life and I'm dreaming now? Because I like who I was better in the dream. That's scary for a kid to think about. When you wake up and you're disappointed that you're not still in your dream, there's things happening in your dream that is so much better than what you have in reality that you just don't want to wake up. That's scary. That's scary for a lot of people. A lot of people go through this. This is that dark nightmare quality about dreams that can pull some people into a direction of not having any more hope. Because what they don't want to do is, in reality, is set a goal for themselves, a dream, envision themselves being there. They start committing. They have the self-love. They're ready to go. And then something takes them away from that dream that's out of their control. An accident happens. They go bankrupt. They get divorced. Their school shuts down. They die. That's reality about dreaming. That's the reality about dreaming big. Because in any moment, that dream can be taken away from you before you even got started. Or you could be right there at the dream's doorstep. You're just about to make it and something bad happens. That's reality. People don't want to think about that. I say that is exactly what you should be thinking about. That it could be gone. That's going to make you prepare yourself even better for this dream. If you can, the things you can control. We're not talking about all the stuff that's going to happen to you that is out of your control. The things that you can control. That's why it's so damn important that you have people around you who believe in your dream. You're going to need all the help you can get. Achieving a big goal, you need all the help you can get. And sometimes that means addition by subtraction. You need all the help you can get by getting rid of certain people in your life, certain situations, certain jobs. Anything holding you back from it is a problem. Anything distracting you from it is a problem. Anyone who doesn't believe in you, they're not investing in you, they're problems. Because if you're truly committed to your goal and your dream, you're going to do whatever it takes, and you don't want the distractions. You want to know what you're doing at all times, and you want to be prepared to help the people who are going to need your help. But you also are going to be prepared to accept the help from people who are invested in you. There's a quote by John Lennon: "A dream you dream alone is only a dream. A dream you dream together is reality." And that dream quote is one of my favorites because it basically is saying a dream is not a dream if it's not reality. When you're dealing with other people, because you can't create a dream and not be dealing with other people. There's no way you can make a dream a reality if you're not connected to this world, even if you're by yourself, again, through freedom and connection. Even though you can get majority of the work done, whatever you're dreaming, you're still going to need some help along the way. That's inevitable. There are certain things people do in life where they just say, okay, I can't do this with you. But again, sometimes that is still addition by subtraction. Because some people say, well, I want to be completely isolated. I don't want to be around anyone. there's still people in your life that you're leaving who are going to be affected by you leaving. So it's not without you being connected. You're severing a connection, but those people are still connected to you. So again, a dream you dream alone is only a dream. A dream you dream together is reality. So when you're out doing the things that you want to do in life, and you can see that goal, the only way to make it truly become reality is that you're going to have to put all that you have out there. Everybody has to know you're focused and you're ready to do this. You have to be prepared to talk to anyone, reject anyone. You have to be prepared for every situation that pops up, good or bad. It takes a full commitment to make a dream come true. And sometimes it takes a lifetime for that dream to come true. A lifetime. The nightmare quality of dreams, I think, is something that I used to think about all the time, and it would consume me to the point where it would discourage me because I would be afraid of all the bad things that can happen while you're chasing your dream. And one of those things about being together, like making it a reality, that used to be one of my biggest concerns is how do I make this a reality? How can I make... Back when I was younger, I used to want to be a film student. I still do. I don't think I've ever gone more than a few months without doing something editing wise, something film based, storytelling, writing a screenplay. I've always done that. That is something I feel like that is my ultimate goal, is that I'm a storyteller. The Brave Never Fall is something that I do out of passion, that I would love to help other people. But that is by no means something that is just exclusive. That is just me. I have other things that I like to do. So it's good. You can have multiple goals under the same umbrella. And that's pretty much how I do it. I use my filmmaking schools to help create this podcast, to help create my Instagram posts, my social media posts. Everything I learned in film has helped me make The Brave Never Fall. I could not do The Brave Never Fall without my filmmaking skills, like without knowing how to communicate and speak and write and do creative things. It all channeled back through. So having that bigger goal of being a filmmaker got me The Brave Never Fall. It wouldn't have been possible if I didn't say, I want to be a film director. Will I ever become a film director? Yes, I will. I know I will. Because I will not stop until I do it, and I've put myself on the right path to do it. And I am by no means going to let anything get in my way of that. It may take forever. I don't have a timeline as far as it has to happen at this date or is considered a failure. No, I'm walking my path. I will get there when I get there. But right now, I have to traverse the terrain I'm on right now. This mountain I'm on right now, there are certain goals I have to take care of. There are small victories I have to take care of, and I'm knocking them off. We're going to get there, though. We're going to get there. Plant my flags of hope. I can see my target. I'm going to get there. But when I was younger, I used to think, how do you do that? How do I make a dream of mine become reality? And back then, it could be something as simple as, how do you get a job that pays over minimum wage? How do you get in school and stay in there when problems happen? How do you continue to go to school? What happens what if I want to get married? What if I get divorced? And all these things happen. They all happen, and I'm still here. Because the passion I have for my goal, even though it's a dream, in my mind, it's already reality. It will be reality. At some point, that dream will be a memory. I will pass it up, and that dream will turn not only into reality, but it will turn into a memory. And I'll be on to the next dream. And that's what you want to do. You want to get to a point where that dream turns into reality and then turns into a memory. You say, wow, I have a freaking memory of a dream that I had. I just went right past it and I'm still going. That's how you have to think of it. You take those fears that you have in your nightmares, those crazy dreams that you have when you wake up and you're like, I hope that never happens. Take that and you hold it. You remember as much detail what happened in that dream, what scared you. And then you go into reality and you face what scared you in that dream. Prepare yourself for it. Because there's a version of that in reality that's going to come after you. Your mind is trying to tell you something. You're afraid of something. Something is haunting you. You're scared. You're frightened. It's giving you anxiety, depression. You're running from something. You have to figure it out. I know I did. I had to figure that part out. I used to have the worst nightmares ever. These nightmares, I used to wake up and they'd be so discouraging. And they weren't scary. They weren't like slasher film nightmares, right? I wasn't being chased by classic horror film characters who run around with blades chasing me. No, these were things about life, a life that I would have that I know I thought in my mind, I either didn't want or I did want. So I would wake up and I would say, oh my goodness, I would have in my dream what's equivalent to that guy who won that DMT trip. I would have the perfect life, have the wife, the kids, everything is great. And I wake up and I have nothing. And I'm thinking to myself, how do I get what I dreamed of in that dream? That felt amazing. I was discouraged to actually wake up. And then you have the other dreams where I'm running from things. I'm scared of things. And I'm thinking to myself, what are those things you're running from? And I took it upon myself to figure it out. I used to have dreams about, or nightmares about, like spiders and snakes. I used to be so scared of spiders and snakes when I was a kid. I got so sick and tired of having those dreams that I got to a point where I went out and bought myself a tarantula and I got myself a snake. And I ended up with an exotic animal collection. And for a short time, I had a little business going with exotic animals based on my nightmares. And now my two favorite animals in the world are snakes and tarantulas. Based off of nightmares, I turned them into a positive. Now, I'm not recommending everyone do that, but that was something I got tired of dreaming of. I knew if I could just do that, those dreams would go away. And once I did that, I haven't had a snake or tarantula nightmare in like 12 years. So it's about what you do with your nightmares. That's why I tell people, when you have a nightmare, try to remember some aspects of it and write them down and try to find some equivalent of it in reality and face it head on. If you're tired of having them, it's the only way to make them go away. And you still may have them because the mind is relentless. It's going to keep coming after you. It knows you're afraid of something. It's going to keep testing you. Your mind wants you to be comfortable. Dreaming big makes your mind uncomfortable. Because you know there's challenges. Anything that's big, there's going to be challenges. And you know there's going to be heartbreak. You know there's going to be failure. Disappointment. You know there's going to be people who doubt you, that judge you, who are going to walk away from you because you have a certain dream. No matter how positive you are, some people just can't handle it. They want you to stay the same. They want you to be comfortable and content just like they are. They don't want to see you in pain. Not every time someone judges you is malicious or with bad intent. Sometimes people do genuinely care about you. And if you have a goal bad enough, they don't want to see you disappointed. They don't want to see you hurt. They feel like they're saving you from a lifetime of disappointment, of chasing something that you could never get or earn. Boy, are they wrong. Boy, are they wrong. What they're failing to realize is that when somebody's passionate about something, you can't just turn it off like a light switch. You can suppress it. You can cover it with tape. You can lock the door that the light switch is in. But if you really want to get in that room where the light switch is, you can get in there anytime you want. Because it's in your house. And no one can tell you what to do in your house. Your light switch isn't at the bank locked up in a vault somewhere. The light switch is in your house. You own that space. You own those dreams. You own those nightmares. This is an unbelievable quote, and this is by an unknown author. Listen to this. Keep your heart open to dreams. For as long as there's a dream, there is hope. And as long as there is hope, there is a joy in living. I'm going to read that one more time. Keep your heart open to dreams. For as long as there's a dream, there is hope. And as long as there is hope, there is joy in living. That is by an unknown author. What a beautiful quote. It's basically telling you that even when you feel like there is no more hope and you've fallen down so many times and everyone that was on your side at the beginning is gone now and you feel like you're alone, that dream is never going to leave you as long as you keep that light switch on and you keep having hope. And that's what I preach most with The Brave Never Fall. Yes, be brave. Please be bold. But definitely have hope. Because that hope is what's going to get you over the hump on those days where you feel like you have nothing left to give. When you have nothing left to say, when you have nothing left to prove. But to yourself, that's that little light inside of you that's going to keep telling you to move on. That's your guiding light. That's what's going to keep you warm through the night. That's what's going to keep you brave and bold. Is having that hope. And taking that hope and trying, no matter what, to make it a reality. And enjoying everything that comes along with it on the way. Don't forget about that. Don't get so focused on the goal that you're not enjoying everything that comes along with it. It is a joy to reach a dream. It should be a fun process, even with the hardships, because you know you're going to work towards something. And if you don't put the extra pressure on yourself by saying it has to happen by age whatever, who cares what age it happens at? Just start it. I think everyone thinks in times of years. I'm going to start and I want it to end by December. If I haven't reached my goal by December, I suck. No, you don't. Your journey took a couple of turns left and right and it slowed down your progress. It doesn't mean you suck. It means you're determined. Because when you get there to that date where you haven't reached it, look at everything you accomplished up until that point. If you didn't accomplish that much, so what? Use it as a learning tool and keep going. Don't give up. Because I know there's a lot of people that also say, well, I am dreaming big, and I am doing everything that I can, and I'm just getting a little bit. Yup. Yes, you are. No one promised you that you're going to get big chunks of your dream at a time. You might not get anything, but just that big chunk when the dream finally hits you in the lap. That's the way life works. Some people get a little bit regularly, like their paychecks. They just keep getting a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you're not like everyone else. Your blueprint cannot be laid on top of someone else's blueprint and it's going to be a perfect fit. Impossible. Your story can't be written by the same author, every word the exact same. Impossible. As somebody else's story. It doesn't work like that. You are you. So you take whatever you can get. And if it hasn't happened yet, you have to have confidence that it will. Even if you don't see it. I tell this to people who are always trying to lose weight. They can't see that they lost weight. They don't feel like they lost weight. They look at the scale, they haven't lost weight. And I always tell them, stop worrying about all that. How do you feel? Don't worry about what you look like in the mirror right now. How do you feel? You've been walking a mile a day for 2 weeks. You can't tell me you don't feel better than you did before those 2 weeks. You may not see it. That scale might not reflect it, but you must feel better. I say to people who eat better, how do you feel now that you've cleaned up your diet a little bit? I don't really feel much different. You got to give it some time. Look how long it took you to grow from a baby to when you graduated high school. Just look how long that is. And then at that point, you still don't know shit. People would still come at you and talk to you as if you're a little baby, even when you did graduate high school. I know, I looking back on it, how mature do you feel when you get out of college? And when you've gotten to a certain point, if you're older, like where I'm at, where I'm around 40 years old, and you look back at your high school days, you graduate and you're 20, 21, 22, you were still a baby, weren't you? Look how long it takes just to develop. Look how long it takes for the human mind to adjust to things. Fully adjust. Why do you think when someone's healing from some kind of trauma, it takes so long? Especially when we're talking about the mind. The body will always be a little quicker than the mind. The mind is psychological. It takes you a long time. You ever seen an athlete who gets broken down? Body heals up in super quick time. Then they get back out to wherever game they're playing, and mentally they don't have it. They're doubting everything that they're doing because they're afraid of that injury reoccurring. That mind is a beast. It's a beast. It doesn't want you to go through hardships. It doesn't want you to go through pain. It doesn't want you to go through what it's going to take truly to get to where your dreams are reality and then memories. They don't want you to get there. Your brain is a sophisticated, highly sophisticated alien machine. Sometimes it is. If somebody took your brain out and laid it somewhere, and an alien came down from another planet and looked at it, this organism, they would be much more intrigued about just your brain than it would your body or whatever you built. It could be sitting next to the most sophisticated cell phone you ever seen, and the alien's gonna be more interested in your brain than anything else on this planet. And that's just the average person. We're not even talking about someone like Elon Musk. Some of the higher, functioning humans we have on the planet. The human brain is made for you to turn dreams into reality. It's telling you that you can have both, because you dream when you're just sleeping. You having a story being played out in your mind that is just as real as reality while you're living in that dream. Then when you wake up, it's just as real. Your mind is begging, screaming at you. Turn those dreams into reality that you have. Whatever you imagine yourself being, make it a reality. Wake up to your new version of yourself. That's what it's telling you. Don't waste time believing that you can't do it. Just get started. Prove yourself wrong. Prove everyone else around you wrong. If you don't make it, so what? Look at all the stuff you're going to bring along with you trying to get there. At least you'll be able to pass away without regret that you didn't try. At least you know you tried. At least the people who care about you most know that you gave every little bit you gave to that dream. Every little bit of you gave to that dream. You did it with passion, self-love, self-discipline. You didn't make it, but you did some incredible things along the way. And everybody will be able to see that, and no one will be able to take that away from you. But I would say you probably are going to surpass your dreams. And the dreams that you die unfulfilled will be far past the ones that you initially had made for yourself in the first place. Those initial dreams will be long gone. The ones you failed to get were the ones you made after you had already hit those dreams you thought you couldn't obtain. Those are the goals. Those are the victories. You got to get going on them. Don't worry about what everyone else is saying. You just worry about yourself. Love yourself. Believe in yourself. And I truly believe you'll get there. If no one has told you this today, I love you. You deserve to hear that. Salute to you all. The brave never fall.